So this page, we're going to do a little more practice with AC grouping, but it's also going to lead into some other types of factoring. So looking at the first one, I do have a trinomial, a is greater than 1, and I have no GCF. So I'm going to go right into AC grouping. So factors of 30 that add up to 13 would be 10 and 3. And now we have our 4 terms. So we take out a 5x here, and just a 1 here. And then this one is fully factored. On my next one, I don't have an obvious GCF, but I do see that I have a negative lead coefficient, so I'm going to take out just a negative 1. This is not necessary, but it does really make the process simpler. When I have AC grouping, and I have a GCF first, I'll often use brackets just because there's going to be so many parentheses going on. So they don't mean something different, but that's usually the way I'll write it. So everything in the red brackets is AC grouping. I don't want the negative 1 to get confused with that. So now I have 36 as my goal number. This one's a little trickier. I don't think these are the most common factors of 36 that we would think of. But 12, negative 12, and negative 3 will work. So I'm going to do negative 12x, negative 3x, and then I can go from there. So when I group 2x times x minus 6, I want to take out a negative 3, which will flip both of these signs to also be x minus 6. This is all happening with a GCF of negative 1 on the outside. And in my last step, I'm going to basically drop the brackets and just write stuff in parentheses. So I take out x minus 6, and then write it to x minus 3. So the next two are ones where I'm going to have a pretty big number that I need to multiply to. So if I need to, I can use that number divided by x on the calculator. I can also think of them ahead if I want to. I do not have a GCF again on these two. So I get negative 120, which as I said is a little bit of a tricky number to think of. If you're doing these notes, I would try to think of it yourself first, but I'm not going to make the video super long, so I will just write down what it is. So this is 24x and negative 5x, so 24 times negative 5 adds up to 19 and multiplies to negative 120. We go to grouping. Take out a negative 5. And the factoring's done. Letter F, I would definitely try your own. Again, not a GCF for all 3 numbers. I get negative 300. And factors that'll work for that, another difficult one, are 25 and negative 12. Then we'll go to our grouping. Take out a negative 6. And that'll flip my signs to 2x plus 5 again, 2 positives. And then I can finish off my factoring. So from this point on, these last 4 questions are going to have a couple different steps. It's really tempting on letter G to jump right into AC grouping since that's what we've been doing, but I always want to check for a GCF first. I have not had that on any of the problems other than the time that we took out the negative 1. So here, I do have a GCF of 7. So I am going to bracket it off because I see that I'm still going to have A is greater than 1 when I take out the 7. So doing this first really reduce those numbers I'm going to have to do AC grouping with. I also have to get the 7 out at the end anyway. So I'm going to go through this process now. The 7's going to stay on the outside. I still need AC grouping. My brackets out. So I bring these 2 numbers together. I have a negative 10. So I have 2x squared my negative 5 stay. Numbers that are going to work are negative 5 and positive 2. 7 is still on the outside. First two parts, I have the GCF of just x. Second two parts, just a GCF of 1. And then we're going to go from there. So I have 7. I have 2x minus 5. And then I have x plus 1. The next one, I again have a GCF. My GCF is 6x. I see that I am going to still need to do AC grouping when I take it out. And I also see that I can't take out a 6 because that doesn't work. So what I meant was 2x, okay, because I'm not sure what I did with the 14 there. So this is 6x squared minus 7x, and then minus 3. So I noticed that things weren't going to work for the next step, so I looked a little closer. And sometimes that happens, like we do something wrong, right? We go back to the beginning and say, okay, what did I do wrong? I know this is a factoring problem, and they're going to give me something that factors, so we can just go back and check. So now we're ready for AC grouping. So 2x stays in the front. Factors of negative 18 add up to negative 7 are going to be negative 9 and positive 2. Go to our grouping. I'm going to take out the other stuff on that front first. So for the first two terms, I'm going to take out a 3x. Second two, just a 1. And so I have 2x, 2x minus 3, and 3x plus 1. So for the next one, I once again have a GCF. Okay, 96 might not be a number that I know that 3 is a factor of, but I could check it, on the side or my calculator. So when I take out the 3 this time, I go directly to a 1x squared. So that's a good thing because that means we don't need AC grouping. So when I have this 1x squared, I don't want to take all the time that AC grouping takes. I just want to put my x's in the front of the parentheses. I keep my 3 in the front, so GCF. Okay, and then go right into what adds and multiplies. If I did do AC grouping, this is just a 1 in the front, so I'm not really changing anything, and I'm also adding extra cents. So numbers that add to negative 4 and multiply to negative 32 are negative 8 and positive 4. Okay. I just want to show what would happen if I didn't use or I didn't notice the GCF there. So if I didn't notice the GCF and I went directly to AC grouping, okay, I have my calculator out because we're getting to some bigger numbers here. 1, I get a number that's super hard to factor. And if I look at my table, which I'm doing now, I'm doing this on the fly, so this is not necessarily going to be super fast to show you guys. Table's fine, but I'm going to have to search for 2 numbers that add up to negative 12. So I do have them. And the numbers that multiply to negative 288 are a positive 12 and a negative 24. So then I can go into my AC grouping. With these 2 numbers, the GCF that I need to take out is a negative 8. Actually, a negative 24 there. Sorry about that. And you can already see, numbers are bigger, this is harder to work with. So this is a plus 4. And then when I do my next step, I kind of think I'm done factoring, but I'm not. Okay, so this is salvageable, we can do something to it, because if I look at this factor, I have a GCF I can take out. So I would take out the 3 and write this as x minus 8. then I would move the 3 to the front. And if you went back, that's the same answer that we had if we just simply took out the 3 and did a=1 factoring in way more steps with way harder numbers. So that's why it's important, right? This is not what we want to do. We want to take out 3 first, okay, to make our lives easier. It's also really hard, I find, for students to recognize that they need to factor this further to here, so that's why we always do GCF first if it's there. So last problem, this one is not going to be a trinomial. So on this one, I do have a GCF. I'm going to take out a 5. And then I do notice that I have the difference of perfect squares. So x to the 4th can break up into x squared and x squared. I get a +2 and a -2. Okay, so that one is then fully factored. So all of our factoring methods, we have one more to learn, are going to start to come together, and we just have to recognize structure to see which one to use.